Hey, Jack here, and today I want to talk about the concept of making money work for you. So the first thing is to make money work for you, you gotta produce money, right? So people say like you need money to make money. Well, first of all, that's not true. So let's first talk about that. So when we flip land, we often take a deal, put it under contract, then mark it up because we got it at a discount, and then sell it. And we do that without using any of our money. We use that by using a concept called double closing. So you put the property on a contract for X and you put it under contract with a seller, and then you put it under contract for X plus profit with a buyer, and you take both contracts, send it to a title company, and they will use the buyer's money to pay the seller and pay your profit in the middle. So that's how you first start making money without using any money. But then as you make money, it's time to use that money. Now, here's what the poor and the middle class do. They make money and they use that to spend it on, I want to call it garbage stuff, right? They want to spend it on a new TV. They want to spend it on a new car. They want to spend it on furniture, stuff like that. This is all great. You need perhaps a TV, you need furniture, you need stuff like that. But the key is, in order to, what the rich do is they invest that money in a way that it spits out what's called cash flow, right? That it spits out money. We're on the Maldives right now, beautiful island in the southeast of India. And so the rich, what they do is they invest their money in a way that it brings quarterly, monthly, or yearly cash flow. And then they use that cash flow in order to buy the stuff that is the garbage stuff, right? So when we needed 2 new cars just a year and a half ago, we instead of using the money to buy those cars, cash, so we used the money that we had saved up, and we used that money, or we made that from our land deals. Instead of using that money to pay for the cars, like Dave Ramsey would tell you, we used the money to invest in real estate that brings cash flow. So that cash flow now pays for the cars, right? So one car was paid off in a year and a half already because the cash flow was so strong, and the second car is probably going to be paid off in another year. So within 2.5, 3 years, let's say, we have 2 brand new cars, meaning a Porsche Cayenne and a Mercedes, paid off. And now for the next 6-8 years, because we like to drive our cars for a while, we have no more payment on these cars, but the cash flow from the real estate that we invested in keeps coming in. Can you see how that brings more wealth, right? If you would have had just paid cash for the car, or if you would have bought a new car and paid it from your job income, you would be poorer. We were able to invest something, have that investment pay for the cars. Now we have cars that are still worth a bunch of money, and we have cash flow coming in, and the cash flow is driven by real estate that actually appreciates over time. So we're actually wealthier, and we have the cars. So think about that. It's a different way of thinking. You got to think that way in order to, over time, become wealthy. So make sure that becomes, once you understand that and it becomes ingrained in you to operate that way, you won't ever buy just a car or buy a TV or things like that. You're going to look for a way to invest some money. First of all, you got to make some money, yes, but you don't have to have money to make money. You do that with land flips, with double escrows, with double closings and things like that, or wholesale deals where you just assign a deal. And then with that money, you invest that money, and from the cash and cash flow from those investments, that's what you use to even pay for these vacations. Look at this. We're on this beautiful 5-star resort island. Over there is our villa right on the water, and over here is another island, which is actually owned by the same hotel, and where you can take a boat over, and there's a restaurant on there. Absolutely, totally crazy. And over here is another little villa with its own pool. And when you do that, this is paid by the cash flow from our investments. So yes, it cost a bunch of money to come here, and it's one of the more expensive islands here on the Maldives. But when we come home, guess what? More money's in the bank account, because the assets that spit out the cash flow and allow us to be here are still spitting out cash, and will be spitting out cash for the rest of my life, and potentially for the rest of Sophia's life, who is walking right there in front of us. All right, so I hope that makes sense, guys. You got to change your way of thinking, and then that will drive the changes in your actions. All right, bye-bye.